Is up, chat? Welcome to the 2025 Monaco Grand Prix.
Let's go, guys.
This is going to be a fun one to watch.
Two-stop strategy minimum. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, so bit of things going on with yesterday's qualifying. So we have Norris on pole here, which is amazing to see. And, the entire qualifying, they were so close with Leclerc. So it's basically like a Ferrari kind of McLaren battle with Norris and Leclerc. So that was so fun to watch. And then we have Antonelli crashing in the Nouvelle chicane, and then Russell losing power later in the qualifying. So that's just like a bad day for Mercedes. Don't know what to tell you there.
Yeah.
We have that incident between Verstappen and Hamilton. So what turn is that actually? But they were going up the hill.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what turn that was, but yeah, they were definitely going up the hill there.
Up the hill.
Yeah, it was impeding by by Hamilton, but yeah, Hamilton, even Verstappen, I heard an interview, he said it himself that it wasn't really Hamilton's fault. It was mainly his team's fault. They didn't really properly tell them that Verstappen was coming. They said that he was on a cool down lap behind instead of actually on a full fast lap behind. So
Yes, it was turn 3. They were going through that left-hand sweeper after you go uphill.
Right there.
And so Hamilton's going slow, he's on a cooldown, and Verstappen's flying behind him. And then Hamilton's team tells him that Verstappen's slowing down. So this guy speeds up because he's like, all right, I don't have to let him through. And then Verstappen just has to go around the other side of that turn, and it's just almost like a crash, and it's just crazy. So that was interesting. Hamilton 3-place grid penalty. And so now the FIA mandated that Monaco requires a 2-stop minimum. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I think it's designed to spice up the race, and I think it definitely will, because 2-stop strategy, that'll be forcing them to make 2 stops, so it'll help bring them back down in the grid. It'll make it interesting to see how the teams plan out their strategies, and if they can get a perfect strategy, then they can very well win just based off strategy because you have to do 2 stops.
Yeah, I agree with that one. Just gonna be so much more strategic action because there's not much overtaking on this track, as you know, and yeah, it's gonna be a fun one to watch today. Because I'm curious to see if Norris or Leclerc is gonna come in top, like out on top here, because those two were so close yesterday. I don't know what to tell you. Like,
I mean, we got second in the championship versus the home hero.
Exactly. I would love to see this here. So it's 7 minutes till race start.
Yep, so about 7 minutes, not too long until we get going here and racing, but obviously got the formation lap before that, unfortunately, but yeah, that'll be fine.
And before the race starts here, make sure you guys check out racingtees.ca for merch on Formula 1 and any other car brands you guys like.
Yep, got some new arrivals in there right at the moment, and then hopefully bringing out some more soon. I'm wearing my Ferrari one right now, trying to bring the home hero some luck.
Yeah, I would like Leclerc to win here today. That'd be pretty cool to see.
Yeah. Pull off a 2024.
Exactly. Yeah, that'd be cool to see because I don't know. The crowd just gets so hyped when he does well. It's actually so cool to watch. Yeah. It's actually so nice to watch.
The commentary was really, really good last year when he won. Really liked it.
Oh, it was amazing. Yeah, so what even is next race here actually? Are we going to Canada now? Are we going to Canada next? Or Great Britain or something?
Race, guys, is going to be starting in 6 minutes. And to see the live board that I have here, I use a website called f1.tfeed.net.
Yep, so the race will be starting in 6 minutes indeed. And yeah, I'm just so stoked to see maybe Charles Leclerc winning here. And on the TV broadcast, they've actually been making so many edits of this guy, like kind of like home hero type thing, you know? And it's interesting to see. But yeah, I'm very, very hyped for this one indeed. This should be a good race. Yesterday's qualifying was very nice.
Especially, it seems like these cars have been like very pretty equal this weekend. It feels like almost.
Yeah, very much. Oh my God, stroke. Just such a close qualifying yesterday. It was just insane, you know?
Yeah, it's
Very,
really fun to
very close.
watch.
Super close.
So race starting in 5 minutes here. All of the drivers are getting in their cars now. I can see over here, and we'll be starting the formation lap very, very soon. Think we're gonna get a red flag today?
Red flag. We probably will get a couple red flags. I wouldn't be surprised. It's Monaco.
Honestly. Did you see the F2 race? And the F2 race, there was a big
Oh,
pileup going down into turn one. Yeah,
that
there
was
was a lot
bad.
of cars.
Very interesting weekend so far for both F1 and F2. So we'll see how that plays out.
It was funny watching that. And then they, like, someone cut almost towards the inside and then got pit, and then it was a huge pileup with all the cars.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to be that guy, but it kind of felt like the guys in the back, they had like terrible reaction time or something because it looked like they could have, they had a little bit of time to react to some of it. But I think they were just
Yeah.
focused on drivers around them, and that plays a big role.
I saw a lot of them. They rolled up to the scene of the crash without being able to cut towards the inside of the corner to get out of there. They just stopped in front of the broken down cars. Yeah, so I think we got so the minimum two stop strategy will be interesting because the teams will have to decide which tires they're starting on and then which tires they'll finish on. I don't think we have data on what tires they're starting on yet, but yep, track record is now a 109.954 set by Lando yesterday. Two mandatory
yeah.
pit stops today, and the race lap record is held by Lewis Hamilton with a 112.909.
Yeah, very cool to see Lando Norris getting the track record yesterday. That was quite interesting actually, because Charles Leclerc was really close to it then too, because Norris finished a 10th or something ahead of Leclerc yesterday.
That's very
So
true.
that was interesting. And yes, the FIA made a two-stop mandatory strategy in Monaco now, so that will improve racing.
Hopefully.
We'll see. We'll see today. Today is the first day to see if that actually will work, but I think it'll do something here. So Oliver
Starting-
Behrman is starting P20 with Lance Stroll in P19. As a fellow Canadian, I don't approve of our roster being made up of Lance Stroll. I think we should get a refund, low key.
I will be back very quickly as I just spilled something, so I'll be back.
Oh, RIP. So yeah, Russell P14 after his engine basically blew out. I don't know, he just lost power randomly. And so your top 10 is Alexander Albon in 10th, Liam Lawson in 9th. Good qualifying for Liam Lawson. P8 is Esteban Ocon. P7, Lewis Hamilton. Your P6 will be Fernando Alonso, and great qualifying for Isaac Hadjar coming in P5 in the Racing Bulls. Max Verstappen is in P4 with third taking up Oscar Piastri. P2 will be Charles Leclerc with P1 Lando Norris, who set the track record yesterday. Wow, what a qualifying yesterday it was indeed. And we have 2 minutes till the lights go out here in Monaco. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Be very appreciated if you want to see more content like this. And we will be streaming next race as well. So yeah, Lewis Hamilton handed a 3-place grid penalty for basically not letting Max Verstappen through while Verstappen was on a hot lap. But it was not really Hamilton's fault because his team told him that Verstappen was slowing down. So Hamilton didn't think they'd get to let him through. It's quite interesting indeed. And we'll see what Charles Leclerc can do today. Starting P2, the outside of turn 1. The track kind of closes in to the left. Like, it kind of like moves to the right. So it's pretty hard to start P2 and get past. It's a lot more of an advantage to have P1 on Monaco.
And apologies, guys, that took me a little bit. Sorry.
Yeah, so I was just saying, like, P1 is really big advantage because number one, it's P1 around Monaco. Like, it's just like And number
Okay.
two, like the left side of the track, like P2 starts on the left, right? But the left side of the track kind of closes into the right, like right before the turn. So you kind of, if you're on the outside, you have to kind of back out because otherwise you're going to go straight into the wall. So we'll see what Lando Norris can do with the defense, and we'll see what Charles Leclerc can do with the attack. As any day now, the lights will be turning green for the formation lap. And there goes the clock. And now we have the formation lap starting. And here we go.
Indeed.
Now let me try to figure out this little map here because I'm not seeing cars.
Hey, me neither. It might just be an issue on their end, but yeah. And Lucas B 1409 saying he's for Ferrari. I'm hoping for a hometown win here today. That'd be nice for Charles Leclerc. And Raccoon in my chat is saying he's hoping for a good race from the Williams boys, which that'd be good. I mean, like Williams, like they've been on their come up this season. Like, it'd be nice to see them do good even today.
Yeah, they've been doing really well throughout the season. You know, especially Carlos Sainz. This guy's been locked. Actually, Albon too. He's been pretty locked in too. So both drivers having pretty good results. That's cool to see.
Yeah, so I think we got Norris starting P1 here. It's gonna be a big advantage for him because he's on every time on the races here. It's just always if you start first position, you usually do good in Monaco, unless someone can get a really good send. But we'll see what happens here after this formation lap ends. So it looks like they're just warming up their tires here.
And yeah, Monaco was featured on the F1 calendar since 1950, which is
so since F1 started since F1 started, which is pretty crazy.
quite a long time back indeed. It's crazy to see how far the track has come from like even like the last turn. It used to be like kind of like a hairpin, and now it's like more technical. So it's cool to see that how time changes. So the Drivers' Championship, we have Piastri in first, Norris in second, with Brown at like a 13-point gap. Verstappen's hunting in the back, so he's in P3. He's hunting for P2 or P1 maybe for the championship, but he's quite a whiles back on the points, so we'll see what he can do there. And Pony Penn's in chat saying who's excited for 4 overtakes today. You know, it's overtakes on track. There's not much of them, but like overtakes in the pits. So like there's a lot of strategy on this track. We'll see what the drivers can do. Mainly looking today at the battle between Leclerc and Norris. It'd be so cool to see Leclerc come out in first today.
So at the moment, I think we have the tires available to see what they're starting on. So the top 3 are starting on mediums and Verstappen on the hards. Hadjar on the mediums. Alonso Hamilton running the hards as well. Ocon, Lawson, Albon also running the mediums. Sainz running the hards. And then Tsunoda running the softs. Hulkenberg on the mediums. Russell and Antonelli on the hards. Bortoletto, Gasly on the mediums. Colapinto, Stroll on the hards. And Behrman on the mediums, I believe.
Make sure you guys check out at Headset Hijack on TikTok.
And at Thomas Darula on YouTube. And the lights have gone out now. It looks like Norris will maintain the lead into turn 1 coming in here. And he locks up, but he still maintains the lead going down into turn 1.
So now
Norris will stay ahead.
Norris stays ahead. Quick lights out there as Leclerc is right behind him in turn 3. Trying to send it, maybe a look down the inside, but he's not going to get it. And now your top 3 are going to remain the same as the start. So we have Norris, Leclerc, Piastri, Verstappen, and Isaac Hadjar in P5. Good defense there by Lando Norris. You know, a lock up in the first turn. That was quite big there. And quite a bit of overtakes happening in the hairpin with who is that? Maybe I can't tell. There's 2 Mercedes. Oh, there's a crash with the stake. Turn 8.
Sauber in the wall. Gabriel Bortoletto is in the wall.
So Bortoletto, yellow flag, sector 2 in turn 8. He has went straight into the exit wall. And that is not a good spot. But it's green flag again. And I'm just waiting for some sort of safety car because that spot is quite interesting. Unless he backed out, yeah, and he's driving on the track again, but there's going to be debris in that sector indeed. Probably a
Seems like
broken wing.
Seems like my map is telling me that we are going to be under virtual safety car conditions in a few moments' time here, and which would not surprise me at all. And
And there's the
Sonoda
virtual.
boxing, and yep, there's the virtual safety car. So Sonoda absolutely playing the strategy game here, which was probably really good for him, as they did need a 2-stop strategy. So that's already 1 stop from him on the softs over to the thing. So that's pretty interesting. The moment looks like we're under virtual safety car conditions just for them to clear the debris by the tunnel. Not exactly sure what they're doing.
So that was quite the interesting start we had there.
Yeah, so just looking at a replay here. He was battling with a Mercedes when he just, I don't know if he got forced into the wall or he just decided, I don't know if he had a decision there, but he ended up going in the wall.
So he goes around the
He's battling.
outside of the hairpin, down the inside of turn 7. And let's see here. Oh, he just gets pushed into the wall in turn 8. And
So he says Kimi pushed me out, which was Kimi Antonelli. So he may be able to get Kimi Antonelli a penalty for that, but
we'll see what happens. I think that's just an incident that happened because, it's just tight track. You can't do much.
Even under virtual safety car, these cars look so fast.
Exactly. It's crazy.
Monaco, such a tight track on the streets. Just going through.
So now Norris is in the pits, actually. As well as Piastri.
Really?
That's what I'm seeing. Or, I lied,
I don't think
actually.
so.
Never mind.
Never mind. Didn't look like it. Well, typical lap 1 for Monaco, So we'll see when they get this debris cleared. Still under virtual safety car conditions. But yeah, it doesn't look like anything's really going on here yet. We have no racing action at the moment. And we'll see when we eventually go green, but still currently under virtual safety car conditions if you're just joining in, guys.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. I'm so confused because the what do you call that? The little map that we have is showing that Leclerc is in first and Verstappen's in second.
Is it really?
I'm so confused.
Mine, the map, I don't have first position yet to see, but I do have, at the moment, the leaderboard, and it still tells me Norris is in first. So, I believe Norris still leading this race, hopefully. But even if Leclerc was leading, that's not the worst. It's the hometown hero. But watching the live stream here, I can see that Norris is clearly ahead of Leclerc, as Jeff Bezos in the Ferrari garage, overlooking the track.
I'm going to refresh the page. There we go. Now it's working properly.
So we are currently under VSC conditions if you're just joining in.
So virtual safety car, we're on lap 3 of 78.
So some people have made one. So looks like the bottom 4 have made their one of 2 mandatory pit stops. As this year the FIA has mandated that every driver makes 2 pit stops, and we're just looking at a race start replay here. So yeah, if it wouldn't freeze, there we go. We are now watching it. So yeah, Norris just gets not a great launch at all. Leclerc almost gets the lead, even Norris locks up, but he still stays ahead. So
yeah, so Norris, he had the inside there. Leclerc was on the outside of turn 1, and in the braking zone, they were pretty much front tire to front tire. Maybe Leclerc a little bit behind on the outside, and Norris locked up, but he just had that track position that you just can't really do anything against. So Norris was able to take the inside and just stay ahead. And wow, Piastri getting smoke bombed by his teammate locking up. Piastri was right behind when he locked up, so that was quite interesting. And here we have Kimi Antonelli and Bortoleto. And yes, Antonelli sends it down the inside at 8 and kind of just forces.
Yeah, he almost, there wasn't any contact, but he kind of forced Bortoleto into the wall, unfortunately.
Yeah, so that was quite interesting.
So, VSC ending now, so we will be green.
So the
And
green
racing action is
flag
now
is out.
So now we're racing here again. Doesn't look like there's any really movement going on here, but then again, Monaco, not many overtakes. So we'll see what's going to happen here. I think Leclerc has DRS coming up on Norris, but he won't even be able to get close to round into turn 1 on lap 5 here.
So we're on lap 5 of 78, and we're seeing Lando Norris and Charles Leclerc maybe having a little bit of a battle here. But hold on, why are we seeing Lando Norris and Yuki Tsunoda, the current gap? So
gap to the people that have done the first pit stops is 22 seconds, as we have Tsunoda, Gasly, Behrman, and Bortoleto all have made their first out of 2 mandatory pit stops, but Norris has about a 22-second gap to Tsunoda, who is the first driver that is the driver that is highest in the order that has made his first pit stop. So if Norris boxed right now, he would probably be ahead of Tsunoda, as the average time lost is about 19 seconds for a pit stop. Who am I streaming with? I'm streaming with Tomas Darula. He's on YouTube. You can go check him out. He's got a way better overlay than me. It's just I stream on TikTok here because some people prefer to watch it on TikTok, and a vertical overlay looks good too, but I like his horizontal overlay over on YouTube. So if you want to go check him out, absolutely go do that.
And fastest lap for Lando Norris, 1:18.050.
So not too fast, but it was also because we were just under VSC conditions for the first few laps, so that's why it's the current fastest one.
Now rounding into the hairpin, and yeah, your top 5 is still the same as the beginning of the race. We have Lando Norris P1, Charles Leclerc P2, Piastri P3, Verstappen P4, and Hadjar. Great result so far, P5. Oh, we'll see if he can hold on to that. That'd be so cool. And not much action happening here so far in the race, except Bortoleto did get forced into the wall by Kimi Antonelli. Quite interesting there. You know, Bortoleto lost his wing, and now he's 47 seconds behind the leader.
I'm surprised I'm just surprised there's not been an investigation by the FIA yet for that.
Yeah, that was quite an interesting incident. I would like to maybe see if we could investigate that, because I don't know, it looked
like he almost got
preventable.
forced. Like there was nowhere for him to go, but unfortunately, unfortunately, I don't know. There wasn't any contact, so really that's probably why the FIA is not investigating it. But at the moment, there's a 1.6-second gap from Leclerc to Norris, so no DRS for Leclerc to try and catch Norris here, but he might be able to chip away at that gap before the first pit stops and try and get ahead. But
And now looking at Fernando Alonso and Lewis Hamilton, Hamilton's trying to maybe look at a possible overtake soon on Fernando Alonso for P6. We'll see what he can do. And that'd be very cool if we could get a little bit of that with Fernando Alonso and Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah. Behrman currently holding the fastest lap, which it's actually kind of surprising. I can't even lie. He's got a 1:14.855 at the moment.
So yeah, 4 seconds faster than Norris did a couple laps ago. But
Yeah.
now we've had the tires moving on the track, getting warm. So
Charles is it seems like the gap's fallen a bit back even more, which isn't great for what the hometown hero wants to see a result here of first position, but who knows if he can get it.
So Raccoon says, reckon Bortoleto will catch up to the rest. I think he will. I mean, he's 7.4 seconds behind P19. But yeah, like Behrman also, he's 11 seconds from P18. So it's quite a big gaps from the other two. From those two to the rest of the grid. But I mean, like, I think he'll be able to catch up here. Especially there might be a safety car later in the race. Monaco's just known for safety cars and virtual safety cars, so we'll see. Bortoleto, he could do something here. I think his team will get him going.
Yeah.
But yeah, unlucky event there for Bortoleto.
Is this a real race or a game? This is the real race today. We are on lap 8 out of 78, so we got 70 more laps to go, and then hopefully we will see some results with like some overtakes start happening soon, but it's not been too interesting yet.
So yeah, here top 5 is still the same as the start. And top 6.
Ooh, and a yellow flag. Where's that at?
Yellow flag. I think
Interesting.
waving in sector 2, I think I saw the little marshals. And yeah, there's someone going slow in the chicane, I think.
Oh, and it's a broken wheel for Pierre Gasly.
Oh, so the
I
front
don't
left.
think the FIA will be too happy about him trying to drag that back to the pit lane.
So he's driving back to the pits with the front left completely kind of detached from the car. Only the tethered kind of rope string thing is
And
holding
he's saying
on.
he has no brakes. Yeah, I don't think the FIA is going to be too happy about him dragging that through the whole track.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to end well, but he's back in the pits and he's still driving on 3 wheels. And
Yeah, so he will definitely not be going back out, but I'm just very surprised that they allowed him to drive like that. That might be a penalty.
And there is double yellow in sector 2, I believe, because of
There
there's
is
a
debris.
lot of front wing on the exit. Raccoon says, not gonna lie, hoping for a team to have both drivers DNF. It does indeed make it fun. I would love to see maybe 2 drivers DNF. I mean, there's Gasly, there's one of the drivers called Pinto. Maybe he can be another DNF, but we'll see. Mercedes had a double DNF in qualifying yesterday. That was interesting.
Under a safety car and a virtual safety car, there's only about 14 seconds of time loss versus the average 19, usually when it is a normal average lap when you just box. But yeah, so it seems like Gasly's taking his wheel off. So we're just going to look at the replay here of where he got the damage from.
So he's chasing Tsunoda, and oh wow, that's quite interesting. So basically he goes down into turn 10, which is the Nouvelle chicane. He brakes and the car doesn't slow down, and he just goes almost straight into the back of Tsunoda. Just clips the front left on the rear right of Tsunoda, and Tsunoda kind of, let's see his reaction here. He just feels a little nudge in the back, and he has to kind of cut the chicane here, and he's like, what the heck?
And the pit lane is currently closed now because of Pierre Gasly.
And Tsunoda's saying, is he an idiot? What is he doing?
Looks like Gasly almost took out his teammate there too. Almost T-boned right into the side of him. That's some serious damage on his car. Tire was just barely holding on. FIA might look at that saying it's not very safe for him to bring that all the way back. Seems like they're trying to salvage it.
They can't. I mean, like, maybe for next race, but they can't go on track anymore. As, Norris and Leclerc, wow, they're pulling away. Verstappen is actually right on the tail of Piastri here. Maybe a possible overtake. Let's take a peek at that.
So, still currently under yellow flag conditions, most likely for them to just try and clear the debris from the Nouvelle chicane. But I think we're going to be going green very, very soon.
Yeah, so the gap between Verstappen and Piastri is 8 tenths. Verstappen's right behind Piastri here. Maybe an overtake. Maybe an overtake happening here.
Verstappen saying something over radio that we didn't quite catch, unfortunately. And we are currently under green flag conditions, so now there will be overtakes that will be able to happen into the Nouvelle chicane, sorry. So hopefully we'll see some interesting stuff.
Yeah, you know how stressful it must be for Piastri having Verstappen right on his tail, and Verstappen kind of taking a look around the outside of turn 18, which is the penultimate corner. And he has DRS now into the first turn. Will he be able to make the move? No, he will not. He's going to have to stay behind for probably another lap. So Verstappen, Piastri are having a little battle. Leclerc could slowly maybe be looking at Norris. Hadjar's chilling by himself in P5.
Yeah, pretty good position for Hadjar. Get some good points for the team if he could stay there.
Yeah, so it looks like Verstappen might have more pace. You know, the gap is now 6 tenths, 7 tenths. So he is kind of looking for moves. And a little bit of a replay with Piastri and Verstappen. So Piastri kind of squeezing Verstappen right out of the exit of the Nouvelle chicane. So that
Maybe
is
that's what
quite interesting.
maybe that's what Verstappen was radioing over, and maybe he was saying he was an idiot or something. We cannot hear that.
Yeah, probably. So, what's my favorite track on the calendar this year? Great question. So, maybe like for just pure racing and overtaking, it's kind of like an average track, but like Silverstone, I know like everybody says it, but it's so good for racing. But my favorite track to drive on, honestly, it's Monaco. It's so fun to just drive and challenge.
I
It's
mean,
just amazing.
I do like it for quality, but other than that, not much. And Sonoda Gasly incident, turn 10 collision has been noted by the race director.
Yeah, so what's your favorite track there, Lucas?
Uh, Not sure, honestly. Like what you said, like I do get it. It's very fun to race on Monaco. I just don't like it for overtaking and stuff. But um, I find like certain tracks give you more entertainment than others. I'm just not sure. Like if depends on if this year, if we're looking at a championship battle at the end of the year, I feel like Abu Dhabi will be really interesting.
Yeah, Abu Dhabi is always a good race. So now Bortoleto has caught Behrman, and Behrman has caught who is that? Sonoda. So that's good to see. They're back in it. And
And
Gasly is out of the session, of course.
yeah, Alonso radioing earlier, he said that he thinks that Hadjar in front of him did not respect all the yellow flags, and his team saying they had noticed that, so they may report that, and Hadjar could get a penalty because of that.
So Albon is also chasing for ninth against Lawson. So there's lots of drivers here maybe trying to look for a move eventually. And Raccoon's saying probably Baku for me. Love the speed on it. I actually kind of agree with that. That's a fun track.
Apparently, there's some abrasion on the front left tire of Norris, is what his team is saying about his tires. So
Uh-oh.
seems interesting. That might be an issue. Colapinto making his pit stop right now from the hards to the mediums.
That's not looking good for Norris then. But should be good. It's Monaco. There's not much overtaking.
Yeah.
But Leclerc's going to have an upward edge on that if he's going to be looking for a possible overtake in the next 65 laps of the race.
And Leclerc seems like he's closed the gap a little bit to Norris with a currently about 1.4 second gap to him. So he could chase him down, but it's not enough for DRS at the moment, but he is slipping away. I just see it now upping to 1.6, and Hadjar being called into the box at the moment. So we'll see where he ends up after his pit stop. So a lot of the drivers currently opting to make their one of two mandatory pit stops right now.
Let's see the stop
So
time for Isaac Hadjar. Holy. And he's now turning into the box. Soft tires going on the car. And what is going to be a 2.7. So not great, but it's a good pit stop there. And he should stay out in P5 or P8. Apologies. And he's going to be P8 after pit stops. So if Ferrari doesn't mess up the strategy like usual, Leclerc should have a chance. Yeah, I see that. But Leclerc could even have a chance anyway because, it's just they're pretty close together, the two drivers. Anything can happen here. This will be a fun one to watch to the end.
And
And a
so at the
little bit.
moment, yeah, some lag here. Leclerc radioing on what they want him to do, if they want him to stay out or keep pushing. And They're Ferrari saying Plan B and stay with Norris. So we don't know what Plan B is, obviously, but so it seems like they wanted to stay close enough to Norris and then make a pit stop at some point.
Could be looking for maybe an undercut, maybe an overcut. We'll see. I don't think the overcut would work here because it looks like Norris has more pace. Maybe the undercut. But yeah, so we'll see what they're gonna do as we are gonna be finishing off lap 16 soon, starting lap 17. And yeah, so we have Norris in P1, Leclerc P2, Piastri P3, Verstappen P4, and Alonso P5. And yeah, pretty much the same starting order. Hadjar has 5th as of now. He's in P8 right now, but with pit stops in consideration, he is in P5. So we'll see what will be produced this race. As the top 7 still haven't boxed yet. We'll see what tires they'll go on because Hadjar goes on the softs. He went on the softs a couple of laps ago. We'll see the pace he gets for that. I think he's trying to maybe get some more pace. I think he was going for the undercut on whoever is in front of him. And Alonso and Ocon, a little bit of a unsafe release. Not really. He got released. And
It could have been, but it wasn't, in my opinion. Definitely very
Yeah.
well could have been an unsafe release, though.
So Esteban Ocon 2.7 stop, or am I reading that wrong? No, it's 3.1. Never mind. So yeah, Ocon is now in P8. So Hadjar in P6 now after 2 of those guys boxed. Hamilton still has to box. 32 seconds between Hadjar and Hamilton.
So Hamilton being asked to push, as Hamilton asked, "What do you need from me?" And they said, "Push. This is our race."
Quite interesting.
And currently the gap from P4 to P6, 24 seconds. So Verstappen could very easily make a pit stop without dropping too far back.
Yeah, we'll see though because Hadjar does have the soft. So if he does get more pace on Verstappen, maybe he could get that move to take P4 from Verstappen, which would be, holy, that would be ideal for Hadjar. But yeah, a lot of strategy going on right now. Pretty interesting race with the strategy. Now Alonso's saying something over the radio. And I believe he was getting told to push, but he is right on the tail of Hadjar, so that will not work much. And then Stroll in the box, as well as Behrman. So 2.5 second stop for Stroll. That's a good stop time. Behrman 3.2. It's not great around here in Monaco.
And thank you to ain'tthatguy.kj for the 12 roses. I really appreciate it.
And Hamilton's told to box.
So hopefully Ferrari doesn't screw up on the pit stop here.
So now he's coming in to the box. And we'll see what time he gets here. And he's going to pull out of the pits with a...
If it'll load, let's see what
question mark with a 2.1 second stop. So that's a really fast stop for Hamilton. Roughly almost 6/10 from the other drivers on average, I think. So that's good stop. So so there it is. Actually, he passed Hadjar for P5 because of the faster stop time. So
yeah, so I think the fastest pit stop time in the season is actually only 2 seconds flat. So that's actually a pretty fast pit stop there by the Ferrari crew on Hamilton.
Just the one time,
yeah.
So this is the one time that Ferrari doesn't mess up.
Yeah, McLaren garage running out with the tires, so it'll be Norris box, the leader boxing. We'll see if Leclerc tries to follow him in, but Seems like Leclerc will not follow him and try and overcut Norris.
Oh, that's going to be interesting. That is going to be interesting because I think Norris had more pace than Charles Leclerc.
So Norris dropping down the order.
Wow, that's going to be really interesting for the race. So now Norris drops down to P4 after pits. Verstappen, Piastri, and Leclerc, all the people in front of him still have to box. So Charles Leclerc takes the lead, but we'll see for how long.
Hadjar also boxed. I think he already had pit. Not sure why he's going in again.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe something wrong with his car. But Hadjar comes in the pits. This is going to be a big stop for the team. For position, we're going to see 2.5. So Hamilton did have a 4/10 faster stop than Hadjar. So that's going to hurt his chances of passing Hamilton for P5.
Yeah, so pretty interesting here. We have Leclerc finally leading, so maybe he can hang on to it as we have, as it stands, Leclerc, Piastri, Verstappen, top 3. Piastri, I think, is being radioed to come in.
Yeah,
As we
Piastri's in
see,
the
yep, that
box.
is Piastri.
Let's see what time he's going to get here when he pulls out of the box. 3.8. That's going to hurt his... Oh, that's going to hurt his race.
Yeah.
So yeah, that gives Red Bull a chance to possibly pass Piastri there. Because Verstappen will be able to maybe make a move when he boxes. So if Verstappen gets a good time, he might be able to pass Piastri here.
So Leclerc and Verstappen have not made their pit stops yet. Everyone behind them in the top 8, though, has made their pit stops. And Hadjar, interestingly, made his 2 mandatory pit stops already. So I wonder why he did that. But yeah, let's see what happened here with the pit stop. Just seems like they couldn't get that front left tire on there.
And yeah, Piastri's team radio, they're telling him that he needs a really good outlap here because they want to stay ahead of Verstappen. So that's going to be interesting. Piastri's going to be pushing for this lap. And Verstappen will box most likely this lap because of that slow stop. We'll see what he can do. And no, he does not box. He's going to stay out. Very interesting.
Yeah.
So lap 22 of 78 is now. And Leclerc and Norris, the gap is 16 seconds.
So Leclerc can build that up by like another 3 seconds. He could probably make almost a free pit stop.
Yeah, we'll see what happens there. What do you think will happen? You think Leclerc will stay out or Norris will pass again for first?
I feel like hopefully for Leclerc, he's going to be looking to try and build up the gap to Norris to hopefully around 20 seconds and then make his pit stop. And if everything goes well, he should be able to stay.
Ooh, and there goes Leclerc, box. So he will be boxing this lap. That's going to be an interesting one because of the time. So he is boxing this lap. We'll see what he will do. Norris is coming around. What is that now? Turn 17.
I believe so. That is...
And I hate to break it to you, but it looks like Norris will get through.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. But, I mean, it was almost expected because a 16-second gap, you know. But,
and yeah, so Norris gets through, which is going to hurt Leclerc.
But and then again, 2 mandatory pit stops this time, so.
And actually, it seems the gap between those two is bigger than it was. So, looks like my prediction was correct. That is not a good idea for Leclerc to overcut. And Raccoon in chat saying if Leclerc wins, is it 2 or 3 wins in a row at Monaco?
It'll be 2 wins in a row, I believe.
Yeah, so
I think he only won last year for his first time, and that was definitely good for the hometown hero. But yeah, it'll be 2 in a row if he wins this year. But we'll see if he does.
It'd be a cool one, but the gap between them, I don't know. I don't know if he'll be able to do something here because let's see now. The gap looks to be 5.6 seconds, which is just gonna hurt Leclerc very much.
Yeah, so Verstappen currently leading this race, but I think he's yet to pit, no? So we'll have, yeah, he is yet to pit. I can see that now. So Verstappen's still yet to pit for his one of two mandatory pit stops. We'll see what he can do here to try and build up the gap and then possibly be ahead, but we'll see what can happen here.
So Piastri being told on team radio about the plan for the race. So that's, yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Piastri looking to get past Leclerc here soon, but also looking to stay ahead of Verstappen, because if Verstappen boxes, we're going to see if he'll come ahead of Piastri or behind Piastri. You know, of course, McLaren looking for a better result, always trying to be higher on the leaderboard. And
yes, Stroll all the way down in P18. Because someone said, "What is Stroll doing?" Probably not much. Lando or Leclerc? I think at this point, still got one more pit stop definitely to go, and easily stuff could change. But at this point, I'm thinking that Leclerc could maybe get second, then Norris first. I would like to see a hometown hero win, but I don't know if it could happen today.
Yeah, and Raccoon saying in chat again, Mercedes fell off a cliff after the double retire in qualifying. So yeah, that was indeed kind of like their grave. You know, they're not doing well anymore here.
Is Max overcutting? Seems like it at the moment because, yep, the whole grid apart from Lawson, Albon, Sainz, Russell, and Antonelli, and Verstappen have all made their pit stops. But yeah, apart from those people that I just listed off, they haven't made their pit stops. So it seems like all of them are trying to overcut. Don't know if that's the most viable option though.
It's super interesting how Adjar already has his two boxes, his two pit stops that are mandatory, of course, in this race.
Max is likely building for a free pit stop. That's definitely probably true. I just don't know when he will be able to get the pit stop done. Because it seems like, what's the gap here? It's 9.6 seconds or so to Norris. So if he boxed right now, he'd probably fall to fourth. Or yeah, probably to fourth because Piastri's about 19 seconds behind him.
So yeah, of course, Verstappen, he is chilling in front right now. And, you know, he is a big tire saver. We'll see what he can do against Piastri for the box. The gap between them is 19.6. So as of right now, Verstappen might come out ahead of Piastri.
And Eating That Guy KJ says that they could be waiting for a red flag, if that counts, which, yeah, it definitely would. If Verstappen pit, then
Yeah, if Verstappen pit now, I believe he would come out behind. Because it looks like Piastri is actually gaining time on Verstappen ever so slightly. It looks like 2/10 a lap. But yeah. Raccoon again in chat saying, is it just me or who doesn't like Zandvoort? Yeah, Zandvoort, I don't know. I don't like Zandvoort that much. The track just doesn't flow great. And I also just hate the location, Netherlands. I don't like the Netherlands people, you know? Only because of Verstappen. He just ruined it for me.
yeah.
So yeah. But so Verstappen's been out for the entire race so far on the hards. But Norris, Leclerc, Piastri, as well as Hamilton and Alonso, they are on the hards now after their pit stop. So it looks like they're going to be going for a long stint now and then maybe onto the softs at the end of the race because I believe they started on the mediums. So that would be probably a good strategy, as Verstappen saying my tires don't look good, which clearly is not good.
Yeah, I was playing too much. I was showing the race and I got banned just now, so that's great.
Oh, frig.
It's only
So
banned from TikTok Live though, so we're fine.
okay, so we have let's see here, 17.2-second gap between Verstappen and Piastri. So I think if Verstappen would box now, he'd come behind Piastri. Bold prediction, but I'm going for Colapinto to finish in the points. Let's see where this guy's at right now. Colapinto in P19, finishing in the points. I mean, like, it's pretty unlikely to happen. It might happen though, but it's quite unlikely to happen as he's P19. 9 positions to gain to get in the points. And now the gap between Verstappen and Piastri is 17.2. So Verstappen looks like he will be coming out behind Piastri if he boxes, as Piastri's gaining around 1.5 seconds now a lap, I think is what it's showing. So now they might be looking at Verstappen and Hamilton, maybe there. So Hamilton's also gaining quite a bit a lap there. Verstappen 21.4 seconds ahead of Hamilton. So as of right now, he'll come out in between Piastri and Hamilton if he boxes. But, you know, that will be interesting. And there goes Verstappen in the pits. So it looks like he will come out in between Piastri and Hamilton, unless something goes wrong with his pit stop, as he's in the box now. Good stop for him, 2.3 seconds. And I think he will come out in between Piastri and Hamilton here. So there goes Leclerc. There goes Piastri. And he is in between. So yeah, in between Piastri and Hamilton. So Verstappen now P4, which is where he's been for majority of the race, I think. And he's done one of his 2 pit stops. So it's going to be interesting to see what Hadjar is going to do. He has 2 boxes under his belt. It would be crazy to see this guy go to the end of the race right now. I don't think so. I think he's going to go for the 3 stop, to be honest. Oliver Behrman. Oh, getting a little bit close to whoever that Aston is. Who's that? Behrman? Stroll. So Stroll getting a little bit forceful there on the exit of turn 18, which is the penultimate corner. It's almost an incident there. And yeah, so your top 5, Norris, Leclerc, Piastri, Verstappen, and Hamilton. And I believe they all have pit stops under their belt, so those look to be chilling in their kind of order. Norris is already catching the guys in the back to lap them. And Norris team radio saying, why are there no blue flags? Good question. I don't see any blue flags.
Yeah.
Good question, actually.
Well, whoever's
So-
watching Thomas Darula is the only one who's watching the stream, because fortunately I got banned on TikTok from live streaming for the next 7 days, so definitely shouldn't have showed the live feed. That was my bad.
Yeah, it's RIP moment. And
Yeah.
so 49 laps left out of the 78 in this race. We are on lap 30. Gonna be starting lap 31. And so Norris still looks like not even getting past the lap traffic. So it looks like there's still no blue flags, most likely. I don't know what's going on there. Definitely losing time to that. Oliver Behrman replay. Oh, almost losing the rear end in turn 15. Oh my God, a little drift there for him. And flies over the curb. And he does not look happy with that one, indeed. So what's blue flag for again? It's to let the lapped drivers. It's basically telling the lap drivers to let the car behind through. It just means let the driver behind through if they're waving it at you. because there's a faster driver behind approaching. And Carlos Sainz with George Russell. Little bit of action could be happening between those two.
A revamp to Monaco, that definitely could be good.
Yeah, that
I
could
just
be
don't know how they
good.
could revamp it.
Yeah, there's not much kind of places they could. You know what would be super interesting though? A completely new layout of Monaco though. Like they kind of like they keep like half of the track we have right now and like expand on it. Like maybe at like turn 1, like maybe you go straight on instead or something. And then you get to like the roads up there and then you go through like those like buildings somehow. I don't know. That'd be super cool to see, but getting rid of the hairpin before the tunnel.
Oh yeah, that one. They could honestly cut it a bit more, yeah, and then just make it like it's not as much of a hairpin.
That could happen, yeah. And yeah, so the guys with 0 stops are Lawson, Albon, Sainz, Russell, and Antonelli. And quite a bit of guys with 2 stops, Hajar, Ocon, Behrman, Bortoleto, and Colapinto. The rest with 1. So that's quite interesting. Quite a bit of people with their 2 stops already. I don't know how they're going to go to the end as we still have 46 laps. And Pierre Gasly sitting in his garage because he crashed into Sonoda.
That was unfortunate there.
And Verstappen saying, all my shifts feel like Monaco Grand Prix 1972.
Oh, so
That's
I think
crazy.
that means that his shifts aren't too good.
That is crazy. So Leclerc
Interesting.
gap to Norris 5.4 seconds.
And wow, I mean, everyone's been lapped up to apart from Ocon, which is kind of crazy.
That
And
is
Albon box.
half the grid. And yeah, Albon boxing now. And we'll see what
Seems like
that puts him at.
over half the grid.
Maybe
Forced
ahead
to
of
box.
Sainz. We'll see if Albon comes in front of his teammate or behind his teammate. As this will be interesting. He's in the box now. Comes out of the box. Good stop there. 2.4 seconds. And now out. And we'll see. I think he's going to be in front of his teammate. Yes, he will be.
So Albon made 1 of 2 mandatory pit stops.
So yeah, not much action happening here in Monaco. But welcome to Monaco. I don't know what to tell you there. If you guys want,
Yeah.
if you guys want shirts and hoodies with F1 designs on them, make sure to check out racingtees.ca. We have much merchandise there, and also check out my Twitch at @realtomtomboy_ for more content. And make sure you drop a follow on there. So we're on lap 34 of 78.
If you want, you can also drop a follow on at Hijack on TikTok. I'll be back on June 1st. Very
June 1st
unfortunate.
on TikTok. We'll be streaming the next race as well. Make sure you guys tune in on that. Drop a like and a sub. And yeah, you guys can see more live streams for racing. And so a little bit of what's going on there between, who is that? Sonoda? No, I think that's actually Verstappen getting through a couple of the drivers. So drop a reverse track. That would be quite interesting on this track, Loki. A reverse Monaco. I've tried it before. It kind of is fun. Kind of is fun.
They should add that in the F125 game.
Oh, they should. They might have it.
I mean, they do have reverse tracks. I just don't know if they have Monaco in there.
Yeah. I'm actually quite curious to see what F125 will produce. You know, it comes out in 2 days, this Tuesday. So this is going to be quite interesting to see what they're going to put in that game. I'm so excited for it. You know, pre-ordered it. Now I'm just waiting for it to get released so I have early access,
You
which
excited
is
for
in
that?
2 days. I am very excited for that. Test the game out. New liveries, of course. Forceful Beast Zero saying, "Are there only 8 people left in this race?" No, there aren't. That's just not showing the guys who
How many
got
people have been
lapped.
lapped? Yeah.
Actually, I don't know why it's not showing the people who aren't. I don't know why it's not showing the people who are lapped. That's a actually kind of interesting point.
Isn't it just great? Isn't it just grayed out or no?
No, I just don't see them at all for some reason. It was showing them before, now it's not. So that's actually interesting. So I think they plan to make quite a few tracks into reverse versions. Yes, they do. And did I buy the standard deluxe edition? I bought the deluxe edition. More content in the game. And I'm pretty sure if you pre-order the deluxe edition, that's when you get the
Early access.
early access. Yeah. So again, not much action happening. Norris P1, Leclerc P2, Piastri P3, Verstappen P4, Hamilton P5. Hadjar was P5 at the early stage of the race. Now he's P7. So definitely lost out with his strategy there because he was getting more stops than the other drivers.
Very interesting that they've mandated this 2-stop. It hasn't made anything really interesting. Everyone's still in like pretty much the same positions.
Yeah.
Top 4 actually all in the same position as before.
And it looks like actually Norris. So here's Bortoletto in the pits actually, and it looks like Norris is gonna lap Ocon soon, which is just crazy. And then maybe Hadjar too. So like it looks like the entire grid's about to get lapped.
That'll be very interesting if it like almost is the entire grid getting lapped because you rarely see that.
Yeah, it's just
And there's still a lot more left to go here, so there definitely could be more lapping going on.
yeah. We still have what is that? 42 laps left. And Monaco just feels like watching paint dry at this point. It does. It honestly does. I am like
Definitely.
internally in pain right now because nothing is happening. But we'll see who comes out on top. I actually want to see if Leclerc will get into first because that'd be quite interesting. The gap is 5.4, so it doesn't look like they are kind of getting closer to each other. It looks like Leclerc is still kind of holding back. But we'll see what goes on between those two drivers. Let me check the gaps now. So the gap is 5.2. And I believe, is it closing? I can't tell if it's closing or if it's getting bigger.
Yeah. Oh, who's that? Someone off the track with an engine problem, it seems like. I think.
Oh, Fernando Alonso.
Yeah, it's Fernando Alonso.
And what part of the... So that is... Okay, so he's in the exit of turn 18, I believe is what it's saying. Something happened and he's just stopped. Okay, how do I figure this out? Oh, there we go. Now you guys can see all where the drivers are. They're just grayed out if they're lapped. There we go. So yeah, Alonso, I don't know what he's doing there. Stopped out of the exit of 18. That's quite interesting. And yeah, so we're seeing Norris catching Ocon by a lot. And actually, Leclerc is gaining on Norris. by around 3/10 a lap. That is very interesting. We'll see what he can do there. Now the gap is 5 seconds between those two. Leclerc has to keep pushing here and hope that he can get some sort of action here. And Norris team radio, I don't know what they're saying there. Couldn't catch that one. Just looking at this battle between Norris and Leclerc. This is going to be a big one. So the gap is 4.9 now, actually. 4.9, and it looks like they're even. The last lap was even. So Leclerc is 2/10 faster in the first sector, but then Norris gains back that 2/10 in the second, and in the third they're pretty much even. So Kuhn saying this was not worth waking up at 5:30 in the morning. R.I.P. dude. 5:30 in the morning. That's
like 8:15.
that's exactly. We had the race start at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
You mean 9 a.m.?
What did I say? Wait, what did I say?
9 p.m. You said 9 p.m.
Oh, 9 a.m. Whoops. Yeah, so 9 a.m. was when it started for us.
Ooh, Albon getting very close to the walls there.
Very close indeed.
And Fernando Alonso walking back, looking depressed. Maybe he'll pull off a Kimi and go to his yacht.
That's crazy. Yeah, so lap, what are we on now? I don't know, we have 38 laps left here around Monaco. And not much action happening right now, actually. There's really not. Yesterday's qualifying was very fun to watch indeed. There was a lot of action. And let's see now. So Norris lapped Ocon. Leclerc is right behind Ocon now. He'll be lapping soon. And Leclerc is gaining a lot on Lando Norris. Now the gap is 4.3 between those two. That is very, very, very interesting for this race. I think all the Leclerc fans now are looking at that and are hoping that the gap keeps closing. And that's going to come
Books for
down.
Albon.
Albon is boxing, actually. And it's going to be interesting to see if Leclerc can get past Ocon as fast as he can, because it's going to hurt him a lot. So Albon is coming into the pits. Lawson as well. So Lawson comes into the box. Let's see what time it will be for him. Albon pulls into the box right after his. So Lawson comes out. Albon comes out with a 2.3. Lawson comes out with not shown for some reason. Nice. Not shown on there for some reason, but gap is 5.1 now with Norris Leclerc. So Leclerc just got past Ocon. So he lost.
Interesting race so far.
Yeah, just looking at this battle though between Leclerc and Norris. And actually Norris is about to lap Hadjar too. So holy, the entire grid is getting lapped here. This is crazy. So now okay, there goes Norris. He gets past Hadjar. What is happening? So now everybody is lapped except for the top 5. Which is just crazy. That just shows the pace of Lando Norris and Charles Leclerc as they're carving through the grid together. Piastri chilling in P3 though. And Verstappen a couple seconds behind Piastri. So we'll see what he can do. Verstappen maybe try to get past Piastri in the later stages. But Norris and Leclerc, looking at that, now the gap is 5.5 again. So Leclerc gained a lot of time, and now he lost a lot of time. So that's going to hurt his race. That's going to be annoying. And yeah, so 36 laps left in the race. We're on lap 43. 36 full laps left.
Excited to see who wins this one.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting race here. My prediction here is Lando Norris because just of what's happening on the track. You know, he's losing time, he's gaining time to Leclerc, and it's going to be interesting to see. Now, Leclerc gets past Hadjar now, so Leclerc has clean air for Norris. So we'll see now if he does have the stronger pace. He's got to show it now. And Raccoon is praying for a safety car to make the race interesting, and I am too.
It's pretty boring.
You know, we're just past halfway here in the race. Oscar Piastri, little bit of a drift. Oh, in the rear left, making contact out of the exit of turn 1. So that's quite interesting there. And Kimi Antonelli locking up into the Nouvelle chicane, so has to cut that a little bit. For good shirts, F1 related, good hoodies, make sure you guys check out racingtees.ca for great merchandise. And check out my Twitch at realtomtomboy_. Great extra content there if you guys want to see some, as we are now on lap 45 of 78. And Piastri lost 3/10 to that oversteer in turn 1. That's a pretty cool graphic by Formula 1 there. Show that on the screen. So now Leclerc is losing 3/10 a lap to Norris. So Norris is pulling away. That lap traffic for Leclerc was not doing him well. He was gaining a couple laps ago. Now he's losing. The gap is 6 seconds between those two. And Lawson getting information on Sainz being behind him. And he's confused about something as well with Sainz. So your top 5, Norris, Leclerc, Piastri, Verstappen, Hamilton, like it's been for a long time in the race. Bortoleto chilling last. He had a bit of an incident in the beginning of the race, so that's going to hurt him. And let's see here. So Verstappen maybe going to be looking for a move on Piastri, though he's actually getting past lapped traffic right now, Esteban Ocon. But if he gets past, there it is, he gets past him, and the gap is 1.2 between Verstappen and Piastri. We'll see if they can do anything. So that is the battle that could most likely be happening here. 1.2 is the seconds between Verstappen and Piastri, as Norris and Leclerc are also chilling. 6.1 second gap between those two for the lead. And Leclerc's not gaining much. He is not gaining much. Maybe a 10th a lap. And Powney Pen saying the best part of the race so far was when Sainz overtook Albon on the track. That honestly is probably the best part of the race, other than the few incidents we had here at the start of the race. You know, the start of the race was quite interesting here, actually. But, you know, as the race settles in, it gets boring. So, lap 47 we're on now with Norris, Leclerc, Piastri, and Verstappen, your top 4. And the first 2 and 3 and 4 could be having a little bit of a battle here with the positions. So Lando Norris chilling in the lead, and Leclerc 6.4 seconds behind him, so he's losing time, Leclerc. Gap a couple laps.
I wouldn't be surprised if Hamilton got lapped here at this point. Like,
Yeah, Hamilton, I don't know. They're looking, he's looking too far ahead there. But, yeah, we'll see what happens here. But 6.4 now the gap between Norris and Leclerc. So I don't know if those are going to swap any positions. Looks like they're going to be chilling like that. Most likely for the rest of the race. But hold on. We still have another round of pit stops, actually, for those two. So that's going to be interesting because Norris, Leclerc, Piastri, Verstappen, and Hamilton actually need to box for their second time. So your top 5 need to box one more time round. So that's going to be big strategy. You know, the teams are still looking for most likely a couple of maybe overcuts, undercuts, looking for strategies. And Raccoon saying don't really care about anything else in this race now. As long as Williams gets double points finish, he is happy. And yeah, so they are right now both in the points. We'll see if Sainz can pass Lawson. Because I believe they're pretty close. They're not that close, but they can do it. And Russell saying he's driving dangerously slow. And he's just slamming on the brakes all the time. So, yeah, okay, so Russell's complaining with Alexander Albon, and actually Russell's right behind Albon too, so he might pass soon. We're just looking at those two drivers. Albon's the front of that entire train there, so we'll see. And Piastri's in the box right now, actually, and he's coming out with a 2.3 second stop. That's a good stop for him, as Hamilton will not get past. So Piastri's going to stay in P4. And Verstappen, Leclerc, and Norris still need to box. So Verstappen now saying something. And he's actually getting told to push. So Verstappen is getting told to full push. And we'll see what he can do there. So I believe they're going to be trying to catch, get a couple of tires, get a couple of laps full pushing on these tires. And they're going to box. So we're on board with George Russell trying to maybe make a move on Alexander Albon and Verstappen, saying more stuff over the radio. Looks like he will be going for a box in the next couple of laps. He just needs to push as hard as he can for now. As Hamilton is now close to Piastri because of the boxing, but Hamilton will have to box again. So here comes Leclerc actually in the pits, and the stop time is 2.2. So good stop. Ferrari so far have been on point with their pit stops, which is quite interesting because it's Ferrari. So now he's going to come out of the box. And yeah, so he's coming out of the box now. Piastri rounding the final turn. So those two are going to stay the same. Hamilton has to hold on, Hamilton does not have to box. I lied. Verstappen has to box. And Norris getting told 100% pace, please. So the top two will be pushing as hard as they can, with Verstappen pushing and Norris pushing. So this is going to be interesting here to see what happens. And Sainz is in the box. Sainz is in the pit lane. We'll see what stop time he gets. And the McLaren's getting ready. So Norris is boxing now. And will Verstappen follow him into the pit lane? We'll see what happens. But Carlos Sainz, 3.1 second stop. All right, time for him. Norris comes out of the box. 2.2. Good stop for him. And now Verstappen's going to be coming to the box. Let's see what will happen there. And where's Norris going to come out here, actually? Looks like he's going to come out ahead of Leclerc. So he's going to be P2. And Verstappen is getting ready for the pit, I think. Unless that was Yuki Tsunoda. Let's see here. But yeah, so one of the Red Bulls is going to be in the pits soon. Most likely Verstappen. And yeah, your top 5 are roughly the same. Verstappen is in first, but he does need another pit stop here. Norris has his pit stop done already. He's P2. Albon getting a conversation on the radio. He's saying, I think he's going to take the 5-second penalty. So, don't know who could he be talking about there, but
Yeah.
someone might be getting a 5-second time penalty as now Verstappen needs to box soon. Will he be in the box now? We'll see. He's rounding turn 18. And he's going to stay out for another lap, which is quite interesting. We'll see if Norris... Norris looks like he's catching Verstappen. I'm not sure why Verstappen's staying out. And the gap between Leclerc and Norris has closed by 2 seconds after pit stops. 3 seconds. And that's who he was talking about, Albon. He was talking about Russell in the Nouvelle chicane. Missed his braking point and went straight through the chicane. So I don't know. I'm not. I'm not like an expert, but I don't think you can overtake by cutting a chicane. So
You're not an expert.
not an expert, but I don't know if that's legal. So we'll see what happens. Maybe a corner cutting penalty. That he's just gonna get the warning. Maybe we'll see what happens. Verstappen still not boxed. Quite interesting there. 2.4 is the gap between Lando and Charles. This is gonna come down to the wire here. We're on lap 52 of 78. Valtteri Bottas standing next to the track, watching the race. And this is going to be very interesting because Norris is catching the big train of cars ahead of him. Verstappen is halfway through that train. And Leclerc is now 2.4 behind Norris. This is going to be a little bit of action here, maybe some racing action. So Max Verstappen still hasn't boxed. He's staying out. I think he's losing quite a bit of time to Lando Norris. But I think Red Bull is planning to get past these lapped cars quick and hope that Norris will not. Maybe use that as an advantage, but we'll see. There's a big line of cars. And now drive-through penalty. Drive-through penalty for George Russell for leaving the track and gaining an advantage. That's not going to be good for George Russell, but that means Albon will take P10 again.
I wasn't... that...
And actually...
That's a bit overkill.
Antonelli just got past Albon. So now Antonelli P11, Albon P12 drops out of the points there.
Did he just cut the chicane as well?
I don't think so.
I swear I just saw him cut the chicane.
Oh, yeah, he gave the position back.
Okay, yeah, I thought so. I watched him completely cut the chicane. I was like, again? Both Mercedes cars?
I don't know what's going on there. And now both of the top three, not both, all top three are in the train of all the crazy cars, the lapped traffic. Actually, let's look at this replay.
Yet to pit. Oh, gets perilously close to the wall.
Very close to the wall, and yep, indeed cutting the chicane as well. So both Mercedes are doing, I don't know what they're doing there. And Verstappen seeing, oh my god, Verstappen also cut the chicane. What is happening in the chicane? That was quite interesting. And Mercedes racing dirty today indeed. So actually, Russell and Antonelli are yet to box. Both of the Mercedes are yet to box. How? Like...
Oh, well, George Russell's a tire whisperer. I just don't know what happened with Antonelli. He should be boxing soon.
It's been 54 laps.
I mean, they still have 2 pit stops to go. Like, what are they doing?
They have 2 pit stops to go here. I think they're going to maybe go mediums to soft or other way around. So Russell has to drive through penalty.
We'll delay it as long as we can, they said. To be honest, I prefer not to speak, Russell says.
Yeah, so Russell's really mad about that one. And can we look at this gap between Norris and Leclerc? 1.8 seconds with Leclerc gaining 0.4 a lap. Whoa, this is going to be good. So...
Well, I don't think Russell's going to be good here. He's going to have to drive through and make 2 pit stops. So...
Yeah, he is... his race is over for sure.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't
And
even
that
know if he can get
means
points.
Albon will be able to take P10, I think. Does Albon have 2 pit stops? He does indeed have 2 pits. So Albon will be looking, and there's the
Box for the
drive-through.
penalty.
There's the drive-through that he's gonna serve. And it looks like Williams will be P9, P10. And Carlos Sainz is in the box right now, actually, so he will drop down a couple of positions. And was that a slow stop? It was 2.7 for Sainz, so not the best pit stop I've seen. And he's going to be ahead of Russell. I think Albon will be on their tail. So yeah, we're seeing a little bit more lap traffic. So Leclerc just trying to carve through the grid here. 1.8 is still the gap between Leclerc and Norris. As now, Norris is like 2.5 seconds behind Verstappen, and Verstappen still has to box. So Norris will probably pass him on track here, as well as Leclerc.
So Verstappen hasn't pit yet?
So Verstappen has not pit. Yes, indeed. He has to do one
I
more
wasn't even
box.
watching. Oh, one more pit stop or 2 more?
One more. So Norris's radio engineer is saying, okay, mate, you're doing really good. Obviously, Verstappen will try and hang it out for as long as possible. And Verstappen, he's gonna try to hang it out, but it's just gonna hurt him more and more as he does it. I think he doesn't want to come out in the train of all the cars here. But the gap is 1.8 still between Norris and Leclerc. And Verstappen still need to box. This is gonna be interesting here, as we're coming on lap 57 of 78. So now Hamilton boxing. So here comes Hamilton in the pits. Will Ferrari get a bad pit stop as they're known for in Monaco? And again, it's just a good pit stop, 2.5. So Ferrari's doing pretty good now, actually. Good positions, 3 and 5. And everybody is lapped except for the top 5, which is just incredible. And Norris is now 1.2 behind Verstappen. Leclerc is 1.6 gaining on Lando Norris. So this is super, super interesting stuff right here.
Yeah.
As it looks like he's gonna be catching him here a little bit. And now your top 3 are within a couple seconds of each other. And Raccoon saying, surprised Mercedes are still yet to box. Indeed, I am also surprised because we are more than halfway through the race. He still haven't boxed, which is just crazy. I don't know how they're still on these tires. And your top 3 are really close to each other. Piastri is quite far behind. But he will have P3 when Verstappen boxes because Verstappen will come out behind Piastri, I think, with the gaps. And Norris now right behind Verstappen with Leclerc right behind Norris. You can see all 3 in frame of each other. And this is going to be good because we're going to see Lando Norris trying to defend against Charles Leclerc, as well as trying to get past Max Verstappen for the lead. So Norris just has to keep this pace with a little bit of defense, and it should be looking his way today. But this is going to be quite interesting one to see, as we have your top 3 really close to each other. So now into the hairpin we go. And Pierre Gasly already in the interview with incident he had at the start of the race where he clipped his front left on the rear right of Yuki Tsunoda. This is quite interesting. And it looks like the timing on the track leaderboard you guys are seeing on the screen right now is not working pretty well. Apparently it's frozen. So I'll try my best to give you updates on the gaps between the drivers as Charles Leclerc helmet cam. We love to see his helmet cam. And he's just so close to winning a race here. He's right behind Lando Norris. Don't know what else to say. So it's gonna.
Helmet cam's like scary on Monaco.
It is. It's gonna be interesting to see what they are gonna do because the gap now is within a second for 3 drivers. So this is gonna be interesting. So now Lando Norris has to get past Verstappen here if he wants a chance at winning because Leclerc is just gonna try to just pressure Norris. And Norris is not good under pressure. We all know that. So here we come into the final sector. We're going to see what happens. Into the final turns. Now back onto the main straight. And this is going to be an interesting one to see what's going to happen because the gap is 4 tenths between Norris and Leclerc. They're just so close to each other. And Verstappen and Norris are 1.3 seconds. So actually Norris doesn't have DRS right now, which is going to be quite actually interesting. Looks like Norris is flipping to defense mode because Verstappen's pulling away again. Norris just needs to focus on ahead. Verstappen does still need to box. But this is not looking good for Norris here because if Verstappen stays out, then Norris is going to be trying to get past him as well as trying to defend. So it's just going to be more workload on Lando Norris. And I believe Verstappen is just trying to keep out here to stay ahead of the train. But I don't know why. I don't know why he's still sticking out. I'm actually not sure why. Now rounding the final few turns. Actually on the main straight now. Super interesting stuff now as we have your top 3 super close. Actually, Verstappen pulling away now. So now it is a battle between Lando Norris and Charles Leclerc for the lead as Verstappen still needs to box. So will it be Lando Norris, who came out on pole yesterday with track record, or will it be Charles Leclerc, who is the hometown hero indeed? Carlos Sainz getting told towards the end, we will swap the cars back. And he said, okay, let's do our race until the last lap. You never know what's going to happen. Alex will finish the race P9. Don't worry. So, looks like the 2 Williams are going to be in the points. Not as of right now, but they will be later in the race. As George Russell still needs to box, and Verstappen still needs to box. Russell actually has 0 pit stops. Antonelli has 0 pit stops. So I'm actually very confused on what is happening between all of these drivers. The 2 Mercedes, 0 pit stops with almost 10 laps to go is something I've never seen before. And Verstappen also trying to stay out on these tires as long as possible. And Verstappen's actually pulling away now from Norris. Gap is 2 seconds between those, and the gap is 7 tenths between Norris and Leclerc. I think Leclerc's going to try to hang behind Norris, maybe wait for a mistake. or Leclerc will send it with the DRS maybe into the first turn. We're going to see now. We're going to go through the tunnel on board with Charles Leclerc, and this is going to be interesting to see how this race is going to play out. And there's just a lot of stuff that just kind of happened
And there's
towards,
Norris's mother. Sorry.
yeah, towards this end kind of part of the race. And 15 laps left with 0 pit stops. It's insane.
Yeah.
And isn't that a disqualification if you don't get both stops? Yes, it is, I think.
Actually, I'm not sure. It might actually only be like a small penalty, but still.
I think it's a disqualification because if it is a penalty, then clearly Verstappen is trying to use that use that penalty, and if he does get a 5 second, then he will, I think, stay
I,
ahead of
I believe it is.
Piastri.
I believe it is 10-second time penalty. I'm not sure. I'll actually research that right now. I'm not doing a whole lot because I don't have my stream to control right now.
Yeah, so if it is 10 seconds, Verstappen's staying out because he wants to try to build a gap and stay ahead of Piastri. But if he's going to box, then he's going to lose more time than he would get that penalty. So I think they're just abusing the rules right now, is what I'm seeing
Oh
on Red
no,
Bull's
never
end.
mind. Sorry. Unless the race is suspended and cannot be restarted, failure to comply with the requirements will result in disqualification of the relevant driver from the race results.
Yeah, so as of right now, we have Russell and Antonelli looking to get disqualified. That's what I'm seeing.
Yeah. Verstappen could very easily make one pit stop and then stay in the top 10, get some points, and not get disqualified. But, oh, there we go. Russell's finally boxing. But Russell and Antonelli very easily could get disqualified because they're only on their first pit stop. I would have just gone on. In my opinion, they're on the mediums here. But in my opinion, I'd come in like the next few laps and get some softs on, try and go really fast.
Yeah, I think they're going to be looking to box soon.
Maybe for the last like 8 or so laps, I feel like some softs would be good to have on.
No.
Well, he stays on 11th, so that's not the worst for him.
And the track map that you guys are seeing on your screens right now is frozen. Not the map,
Norris
but
is Norris is slow. Leclerc saying.
so yeah, not the map, but the timing. Everything's messed with that. So it says 25 laps left in the race, but there is only, what is that? 13 or so. Or now 12.
Yes, 12. Yeah.
Just got flipped to 12. As yeah, Norris trying to stay ahead of Leclerc because we're gonna see what's gonna happen through here. Lap 66 of 78 we're on. Super interesting stuff here. As Charles Leclerc P3, Piastri P4, and Piastri is roughly 3 seconds. And now Sainz being told to swap positions with Alex. So Alex Albon will take P9, Sainz will be dropped down to P10. And we're going to see what that does for the Williams strategy. I think just for the points.
I guess they're prioritizing the driver with more points in the championship, which is
Most
Alexander Albon.
likely. Most likely, yeah.
And I think Albon's also their number one driver, in my opinion. So
Yeah, so there they have swap out of the exit of the chicane. Of the Nova chicane. So now we have Verstappen still yet to box for a second time. Trying to hang out in front. Leclerc is chilling behind Norris, but Norris is doing a great job at keeping the pace and not letting Leclerc get a little bit of a move going here. But we're going to see because this is the battle for first here between Norris and Leclerc. whoever will be ahead soon will be the race winner. And vote driver of the day if you want. And the vote closes in 10 laps with Charles Leclerc leading by 15% and Lando Norris leading by, not leading, in P2 by 14%. And there's Oscar Piastri getting very close to the wall, actually, on turn 15. Almost clipping his front right on the entry. That turn just requires really, really close positioning with your car. And Raccoon saying the Williams drivers are pretty equal. Albon just gets a little bit more priority from his team. That is true indeed. He has been there for longer, and I think he is the #1 driver on the team. So let's see. So we have Verstappen again yet to box. Now the gap is 5/10 between second and third for the battle for P1. Super interesting here as now they go into the hairpin. And they're right behind Verstappen too. 2.5. So all three of those drivers are pretty equal to each other here. But Charles Leclerc definitely not happy right now. He's trying to win his home race for the second time in a row. Because last year he did come out on top. And yeah, we'll see what will happen here. As now we go into turn 15. Both drivers getting very close to the wall indeed, because that is what you need to do on entry there. And will Leclerc be able to get past? Because Norris will not have DRS into the main straight. Leclerc will have DRS, and no, the gap is too big now. Does not look like it's going to happen. And there goes into turn 1. With the positions staying the same. Raccoon saying, any way to fix the timing board? I'm not sure. It's not doing much. I can try to refresh. I don't know if that'll work. Let's see what happens if I refresh. I just logged out actually by accident. Whoops. That is completely my bad. Okay, there we go.
Lock in.
Yeah, so there's no way to fix the timing board here. Actually, it's not working. That's very interesting indeed. And Verstappen kind of chilling in front again. Still has to box. We're on lap 69 of 78, so roughly 10 laps to go. And Albon Sainz P9, P10 with the two Mercedes in P11, P12. So that's gonna not be great for Mercedes as they still both have to box. I think Anthony has to box twice. And Russell has to box once. Stroll is in P18. Of course he is. And yeah, just refresh that. There we go. So yeah, not much action happening right now in the Monaco GP. Make sure you guys drop a sub, like the stream if you want to see more content like this. We'll be streaming qualifying and race next weekend. Norris asking on team radio, where is Oscar? I need him to put Charles under some pressure. And Piastri is, I think, getting closer here to them, actually. He's not that far behind. But Norris is doing a great job here of keeping Leclerc behind. And yeah, Piastri's catching behind here, actually. So we'll see what's going to happen here. Norris, team radio again. Max is just backing me up. He's not even pushing. So Max Verstappen looks like he's trying to even deny Norris of the win or something. I just don't know what's happening there. Raccoon saying, what if someone hypothetically just kidnapped Stroll so he couldn't race anymore?
Hypothetically, though.
Hypothetically, though, you know? Hypothetically. That'd be kind of goofy, low-key. So Russell in P11. I think he's in the box now. Yes, he's in the box indeed. And yeah, the entire timing's just completely messed. Even the screen is messed. It's showing Russell is in turn 8 now after the hairpin, but he's not. He's in the box. That's what I'm seeing right now. So that's a little bit interesting. As George Russell showing in P11. And the top 3 is pretty much the same here. And Leclerc is super, super close to Norris. And
Verstappen still
Piastri.
needs to. I think Verstappen still needs to pit once now.
Yeah, Verstappen does need to box, but it looks like Verstappen's holding up Norris to get I don't know why. I think he's trying to deny Norris of the win. And actually that's letting Piastri catch up. So Piastri's going to put some pressure on Leclerc. And Leclerc will be in a McLaren sandwich right now. This is super interesting stuff. I don't know what's happening here on Red Bull's end. But honestly, I'm just confused because, like, Verstappen's just, like, driving slow. He's driving way under the pace. Norris is, like, in P2, trying to defend against Leclerc. But it looks like Verstappen's just not letting... It looks like Verstappen's not letting Norris through or anything here. And, it is true, yeah, that lower Norris position in this race, the lower the position he has in this race, the easier it is for him to catch him in the World Drivers' Championship. That is true. But that is just ultimate mind games here. But I don't know if he will be able to do anything because Norris is doing a great job at keeping Leclerc behind. Piastri is now within a second of Leclerc. So this is going to be interesting to see. Through the hairpin we go. And this timing thing is messed up. I don't know what's happening here. Trying to figure this out so it's actually good. And then, yeah, so this is very interesting because Verstappen still has the box and there's like 5 laps left in the race. And Norris P2, Leclerc P3, but Norris keeping Leclerc behind. Piastri is now on Leclerc's tail, so he's going to be pressuring Leclerc. Maybe trying to get through, and the Ferrari fans right now are watching the action as Leclerc trying to get through to win his home race. So your top 10 here is Verstappen, Norris, Leclerc, Piastri, Hamilton, Hadjar P6, Ocon P7, Lawson P8, Albon P9, and Sainz P10. So looks good for Hadjar actually. He came back up the field a little bit. And Max Verstappen, a little bit of a replay, is getting super close to the wall. Jeff Bezos watching along the race in the paddock. And F1 Driver of the Day vote closes in 3 laps. Make sure you guys go to f1.com/vote if you want to vote. Leclerc leading it with 19%. Norris second with 15%. Hadjar in third for the vote of 14%. Hadjar did a great job today. With 3 laps left to go. With
I definitely think
Norris.
Verstappen did a good job. It's like he can't win driver of the day. It's like he's allergic to that.
Yeah, he is allergic to it. Nobody likes Verstappen, but
Well,
any
there's a
bets?
lot of people that do, but like the people don't vote him all the time.
Yep, and any bets on Alonso being the last driver to earn points this year? Maybe. Might happen. So,
So
Norris
I
and
think,
Leclerc are just so close to each other.
yeah, Verstappen, Sonoda, and Alonso all still need to pit. It's not great.
So yeah, Verstappen, I don't know I think he's just gonna box in the final lap and call it that. But
Yeah.
Norris,
I honestly, if I was Verstappen, I'd box now, get some softs on, try and get like a good crazy quality lap in. I don't know. I've just like
fastest
that's
lap,
really his
yeah.
only option. Yeah, like yeah, fastest lap. Maybe you could even get like all-time track record during a race. Like, well, not like all-time track record, but like
So
I don't know how to
Hadjar,
explain it, but
so Hadjar right now doing the best out of the rookies this race. He is number 6 in P6. And yeah, so right now the fastest lap is for George Russell. And he's in P11. So he's not going to get a point for that one. 21 seconds behind Sainz. So that's quite a big gap there. And Hamilton asking if the drivers ahead are still ahead by a minute. Indeed, they are ahead by roughly a minute. So Hamilton's going to be chilling in P5. That's where he's going to finish for today's race. Verstappen, P1 right now, but he will have to box. So he's going to drop down most likely to P4. And Norris, Leclerc, and Piastri are super close to each other. Those are your top 2, 3, and 4. And sucks to be Kimi in the last 2 races, DNF, and a finish outside of the points. That is
yeah.
sad for him, but it's his first year in Formula 1. He got to kind of
Yeah,
slack off.
Verstappen's got a pit soon. He's gonna be disqualified.
So yeah, we're on lap 77 of 78. And Verstappen has to box. Otherwise, it's going to be a DNF here.
I have early data here. Verstappen has pitted, and he's now down to fourth. He might even drop lower, but yeah, Norris is leading.
So yeah, Verstappen. Oh, and George Russell, another fastest lap, 1:13.405. Verstappen is indeed being told to box as of right now. And we'll check the stop time. It won't matter, though, because he's going to drop down below Piastri.
Yep, he's going to be in fourth, I think, here. He's going to be on the medium tires. Well, that was interesting. I don't know why Verstappen held out so long.
So he's actually on the softs.
I see. Oh, yeah, he is too.
2.2 second stop time. Not going to do much, but now he's in P4. And Hamilton is not going to be able to catch Verstappen. But Lando Norris now takes the lead. And Leclerc is out of a second from Norris. Gap 1.2. So it's getting bigger now that Verstappen's gone. I'm pretty sure Verstappen was actually holding up Lando Norris, which is quite interesting. And Leclerc now P2, Piastri P3. So your podium spot on the final lap of the race right now is looking Norris, Leclerc, and Piastri. So Norris has 5 career race wins, and he's looking for his 6th today, as he's now going to be rounding the final couple of corners.
And he has the fastest sector 1 as well.
Fastest sector 1. Will it be fastest lap here, actually?
And Norris rounds the final corner to take the checkered flag first before the hometown hero of Leclerc. And Lando Norris will win the Monaco Grand Prix. Leclerc finishes in second, followed by Piastri to round out your podium. Leclerc won't be too happy that he won, but McLaren, the celebrations are only just starting. And Antonelli some for how Albon up into fourth, Antonelli up into fifth. Okay, I think that's it wrong.
Okay, what is happening? It's showing signs in P5, Albon in P4. Verstappen now showing in P4. Okay, their entire thing is bugging, but we have Lando Norris who wins the Monaco GP in 2025. Leclerc P2, Piastri P3, Verstappen
Oh,
P4.
I get
And
why it's doing that. Sorry.
oh, I don't know why it's doing it.
It's because they're lapped, so they've been lapped, but they just finished they're starting their final lap, so it registered them as getting their final lap done, which what they didn't.
Okay, so yeah, I believe Hamilton's P5. So that's a good result for McLaren, P1 and P3.
So
Lando
double
Norris.
points for Williams, who were lapped twice, which is a bit crazy. But yeah.
Yeah, I think more than half of the field was lapped, which is just quite interesting. And yeah, Lando Norris started on pole yesterday, got track record, came home to win today's race. That's going to put him in a really good spot in the Drivers' Championship. Just a great race for him overall. Charles Leclerc's been chasing, and he actually has the fastest lap of the 1:13.221. So, extra point there, I think, because, or did they get rid of the point for this year?
For the fast lap, yeah, they did.
Okay, so then never mind. Hey, just for that little tire trophy Pirelli thing.
It's just because people like it was always like, oh, I'm in P18, I'm 30 seconds behind, I'm gonna box and take away the fastest lap point, and with my softs.
Yeah.
And Leclerc seems to be pretty happy, so it's a good result for the team.
And Raccoon saying congratulations to Lando. Should have been Leclerc though, and I agree with that. Should have been Leclerc. He was battling the entire weekend, but great job for Lando Norris. He really does deserve it. He did win fair and square. Verstappen, though, I don't know what he was doing all the way till the end of the race.
Waiting way too long to pit. Definitely screwed him over.
And yeah, so thank you very much, guys, for watching today's race. Make sure you guys check out racingtees.ca for merch. Make sure you guys check out my Twitch at realtomtomboy_ for more content. And make sure you guys sub to this channel if you want to see more commentary on races. We'll be streaming qualifying next race. So thank you very much, guys, for watching. We'll see you in the next one. See ya.